Good evening. I just want to check and make sure. You're Connie, aren't you? Tucker's wife?
What? Yes, that's correct, but who are you and what do you have to do with my husband?
My name's Mariana. I'm a friend of Tucker's.
Mariana, is it? I'm sorry, I don't recall even meeting a friend of Tucker's named Mariana.
Oh, really? That's strange. I went to your wedding and everything. We even spoke for a little while. But I guess there were a lot of other people there, so it's not a huge surprise that you don't remember, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm terribly sorry that I didn't remember you, Mariana.
No, that's all right. You don't need to apologize to me.
So can I ask what this is about then?
Well, the thing is, Tucker, me, and a bunch of our other friends from school went out to drinks tonight. And Tucker drank a lot, like a real lot. So he's passed out on the floor right now, and I don't think he's gonna wake up for a while.
Oh, for goodness sake. I'm so sorry about this. Usually Tucker is a much more responsible drinker. I'll come by to pick him up. Are you at the bar or someone's house?
No, you don't need to worry about picking him up. We're at a bar, but Tucker's gonna spend the night at a different friend's house. I just thought that it would be best to contact you and let you know, since you might get concerned about him if he didn't come home tonight.
Ah, okay, now I see. Well, thank you very much for letting me know, Mariana. I appreciate that. If you don't mind me asking, whose home will he be staying at?
Oh, don't worry about that either. He's going to a male friend's house, not mine.
Oh, okay then. Thanks for telling me.
You don't really seem to be too concerned about him.
Oh, don't I? Well, I suppose I trust Tucker enough to let him go out with his friends every now and then.
So you're really not that worried, huh? Man, if I were in your shoes, I'd be pacing the floor right now. Like, even if he were actually staying with a male friend.
Wait a second.
Oh, what? Oopsie doopsie. Looks like I've had a little bit too much to drink. You can go ahead and disregard that last text. I have no idea what I was talking about.
I think I'm entitled to an answer. What did you mean when you said even if he were actually staying with a male friend? That makes it sound like you weren't telling me the truth earlier when you told me he was staying with one of his male friends.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Hey, I'm Connie. If I tell you this, can you promise not to tell Tucker that you heard about it from me?
I suppose that depends on what it is you're about to tell me, but all right, go ahead, Mariana.
Well, the thing is, it does seem like Tucker is seeing somebody, and they're pretty serious.
Seeing somebody? Pretty serious? Are you telling me Tucker is having an affair?
I don't think I should say any more. That's all I know, honestly. That's all that Tucker told me anyway. He said that he's seeing someone and they're pretty serious.
I see.
I'm really sorry you had to find out like this, Connie. It must come as a massive shock to you. But for what it's worth, Tucker has a lot on his mind right now.
What do you mean?
Well, I know this is kind of a personal issue, but you're dealing with infertility right now, aren't you, Connie? Like, you're seeing a doctor for it and everything?
I don't believe this. Did you hear that from Tucker too?
Yeah, sorry.
How could he go around telling other people our personal business?
Speaking as that particular other person, I can assure you that he's not just going and telling everybody about it. He and I have known each other since high school. He trusts me. There's no way he would tell me otherwise. So yeah, you know how much Tucker likes kids and has always wanted to be a father. It was a really, really big shock for him when he found out. So I hope you won't give him too much of a hard time about cheating, okay?
How I deal with my husband is for me to decide, not you. I'll keep my promise not to tell him that you told me, but I am not making any other promises.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I shouldn't have tried to force my way into your business, but I'm really sorry about that. Forget I ever said it, okay? I guess it's enough conversation for one night. I'll let you go. I'm sure you have a lot to think about. Good morning, Connie.
Mariana, good morning. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure of hearing from you today?
Actually, I had a question for you. What's it like living with a man who has no feelings at all for you anymore?
Excuse me?
You still haven't confronted Tucker about his affair, have you?
And what business is that of yours? I was under the impression from our last conversation that you didn't have anything to do with Tucker's affair.
You have got to be kidding me. You really didn't realize that I'm the woman Tucker was having an affair with?
I had my suspicions. You were acting awfully evasive during that conversation, even for someone who's had a bit too much to drink. You knew far too much about our personal affairs for someone whose only connection to Tucker was going through the same high school.
So, you did catch on. Wow. So you knew that Tucker was more serious about another woman than you, but you still didn't confront him about it? Man, you must be desperate to save your relationship with him.
You're free to interpret my actions however you'd like.
Ooh, looks like I hit a nerve. But it's all right, Connie. You don't have to put up with this loveless marriage any longer. As a matter of fact, you're free to leave that lovely little house of yours whenever you'd like. So start packing up your stuff as soon as possible, okay?
What are you trying to say?
I've got great news. I'm pregnant with Tucker's baby, so he no longer needs a useless woman like you around. From now on, I'm the one who's going to be by Tucker's side every night. So like I said, pack your crap up and get out. I won't let you get in the way of our love any longer.
Wait, you mean I can leave?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Of course you can. Tucker's going to divorce you and get remarried to me. He's told me all about how desperate he is to get rid of you.
Wow. Tucker really says he wants to get a divorce?
That's right. He doesn't have any feelings for you at all anymore. Not just that, he says he regrets ever marrying you in the first place. Would you like to know what he calls you when you're not around? Connie the Con. Get it? Because you pretended you could give him children when your womb was actually a barren wasteland. Sorry, Connie, but Tucker decided that he would prefer a youthful, beautiful woman like me over you.
I see. So it's really you that Tucker's been having an affair with, Mariana?
You still don't believe me?
Well, it's just that you seem to be completely insane. It could simply be that you're lying in an attempt to drive me and Tucker apart.
I'm not lying.
I don't know. It's still pretty hard to believe. Do you have any evidence that you're having an affair with him?
What, you want evidence? How about I send a bunch of pictures and videos we took together? Even some with more intimate videos. Is that what you want?
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
And you think I'm insane? You must have, like, a humiliation fetish or something. You really want to see your husband in the act with a woman who's prettier than you?
Yes, I'd love to see as many pictures and videos as you can send. By the way, if you don't mind me asking, does Tucker know that you're contacting me right now?
I figured after the last time we talked that you would go and confront him about it yourself, so no, I haven't told him. But I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, you can always just ask Tucker yourself.
Actually, if it's all the same to you, how about we keep our communications secret from Tucker for a while?
What? Why, though? Are you still hoping for a way to avoid a divorce? You're so desperate. Don't forget, Connie, Tucker's baby is growing bigger and stronger inside of me every single day. I want to get married as soon as possible.
Look at it from my point of view, Mariana. I just now learned that my own husband got another woman pregnant. I was suspecting him of having an affair, but for him to have a love child, I never saw that coming. Don't you think I deserve some time to calm myself down before I make any big decisions?
Fine. How much time are we talking about?
Just a week is fine. If you agree to not tell anything to Tucker, then in 1 week I'll be gone.
And what's in it for me?
It's either you give me a week or I will do everything in my power to make this divorce drag on as long as possible. You know how long it takes to sue someone for a divorce? There's court hearings, lawyer meetings, it's a real mess, and it'll take at least 6 months, probably closer to a year. If you want to marry Tucker before the baby is born, then you'll do what I say.
Wait, does it really take that long to get a divorce?
If I drag my feet, then yes.
Fine, have it your way. You've got 1 week, but no longer.
Thank you for your cooperation. You have my word, Mariana. In 1 week, I will divorce Tucker and move out of the house.
You better keep your word. And when you move out, leave your key in the mailbox so I can pick it up.
As you wish.
Seriously, though? You're kind of acting like a major loser right now. Like, you know that you and Tucker are going to get divorced. There's no way around that. But you're still threatening to drag out the divorce proceedings? Pathetic. I mean, it's all your fault this is happening for being a useless woman anyway. You've got 7 days, Connie. I want you gone no later than 6 o'clock p.m. on the dot. Hey, Connie, what gives? I just used your key to get into Tucker's house, but there's practically nothing in here. No furniture, no nothing. Basically, all that's left is Tucker's personal stuff.
Did you think I was going to leave my things behind? I'm the one who paid for most of our possessions. The sofa, TV, refrigerator, microwave, that was all stuff that I brought back when I was single. They're mine.
You didn't have to take it all with you. I was planning on spending a relaxing evening in my new house tonight, but with no towels and no hairdryer, no shampoo, how am I supposed to take a bath like this?
How about you go get your darling Tucker to buy some new things for you? Besides, I was the one who did all the interior design for the two of us up until now. You wouldn't want to live in a house designed by the woman you replaced, would you?
When you put it that way, yeah, I guess you're right. And you also do deserve some leniency given the situation. I mean, you just got kicked to the curb because you can't get pregnant. Your defective lady parts cost you your comfortable life in this awesome house. It must be so hard to be infertile.
I don't need any of your backhanded sympathy, Mariana.
But I'm serious. I really do feel bad for you. You can't even have one single baby, but I'm gonna give Tucker all the babies he could ever want. We're going to single-handedly change the country's birth rate.
You think you can raise that many kids?
We want to have 3 kids at least. And Tucker has more than enough money to support a family of 5.
You think so?
Well, let's see. He lives in a super sweet house. He drives a super sweet car. He even has a super sweet watch. And he's always giving me luxury brand handbags, perfumes, and everything.
Those are all mine.
Huh?
Despite what you've done to me, you're pregnant, so I'll give you this one final warning. Tucker is lying to you, Mariana.
He's lying? About what? You're the one he was lying to.
I know Tucker has done his best to give you the impression that he's fabulously wealthy, but he doesn't actually have any money.
Connie? Really? Really now? I mean, come on. Are you ever going to just accept that you've lost? This is just pathetic. He loves me, not you, and there's nothing you can do to change that. I know you're terrified of losing your lifestyle, but you're gonna have to do better than stupid lies like that. Seriously, aren't you embarrassed to be doing this after dragging things out as long as possible?
Despite whatever you may think of my motivations, the truth is that I simply wanted to wait until the most ideal moment to divorce him. I wonder what he's going to think when he comes home from work and finds me gone.
Probably something along the lines of, yes, that barren old hag is finally gone.
For your sake, I hope you're right. I wouldn't be so confident if I were you, though.
Honestly, this obnoxious personality of yours alone should have been enough for Tucker to divorce you. I'm surprised he didn't leave you the second he found out that you were obnoxious and infertile. How about you getting thrown aside as an opportunity to fix that awful personality of yours? I'm sorry.
Looks like you found out that I was right about everything, huh?
Yes, you were right about everything. Tucker said he never wanted to leave you at all.
Yep, I was right about that, too.
So you knew?
That's right. Tucker was only ever after my money from the very beginning. Right up until the day we got married. He was a great guy, hardworking, trustworthy, honest. Then after we got married, he started using me like his own personal ATM machine. That's when I realized that he never actually loved me at all. Oh, and there's one more thing that you should be aware of. I'm not infertile. Tucker was always so busy spending my money at bars and casinos that we never had any time to try and conceive.
But you've been married for 2 years already, and I just learned yesterday that you're the CEO of a real estate investment firm. You've got more than enough money. You could have divorced Tucker at any time you wanted. Why did you wait until now?
Because I actually liked him when we got married. I wanted him to go back to being the Tucker that I used to know, so I gave him a year to change his ways. But after a year passed, I learned about Tucker's escapades with women. When I confronted him about it, he immediately got down on his knees and begged me to forgive him. He told me that he could change and asked me to trust him just one more time, so I did. But now I see that I should never have trusted him to begin with.
He also told me yesterday that he didn't have as high of a salary as he told me at first. I mean, a man at his age making that little? If I had known that, I would have never tried to get with him.
I'm surprised you didn't know. Weren't the two of you close friends?
Oh yeah, about that. We weren't actually friends from high school. I met him for the first time that night at the bar.
Ah, I see. Well, that explains why you don't know a lot of things about him that a friend should.
Hey, so what would you say to getting back together with Tucker?
Yesterday you were telling me to divorce him.
Well, yeah, but
Let me guess. Tucker told you to talk me out of divorcing him, didn't he?
he told me if the two of you got divorced, then he wouldn't accept our child as his.
And why would that be an issue? All you'd need to do is get a paternity test done. That would take care of everything.
I don't have that kind of money, and there's no way he's gonna pay for it. I'm already 6 months pregnant, so I can't just get rid of it. If I had known things were gonna turn out this way, I would have gotten rid of it right away.
Look, Mariana, I know things may seem bleak for you right now. You probably think there's no possible way you're going to be able to go on like this. I'll bet that even as we speak, you're spiraling deeper and deeper into a crippling depression. I can't imagine what sort of overwhelming panic you must be feeling about the future.
Is there a point to this? Or are you just gonna keep going on and on about how screwed I am?
It's the second option. Life sucks, but you have no choice but to press on. Remember, your kid is an innocent party in all of this.
How is it innocent? This thing has Tucker's DNA in him, doesn't he? And I don't want to raise a kid that's gonna be like him.
What's worse is that your baby has both Tucker's genes and yours.
What am I gonna do? I thought that I was gonna start a new life living in a nice house with Tucker. But now I'm left penniless, homeless, and husbandless. And I'm pregnant. Why is this happening to me?
Do you really need to ask? Everything that's happening to you right now is the result of your own actions. Granted, Tucker also shares some of the blame for being a lying, cheating scumbag, but you were complicit in the affair. You knew that he was married when you slept with him and when you decided to keep your baby.
I only did this because Tucker said that he would take responsibility.
You're proving my point, you know. You refuse to accept any responsibility.
But how am I responsible? Tucker tricked me. He said he was going to marry me and take care of our baby, but that was all a lie. So please, Connie, I'm begging you. Please take Tucker back. Do it for me.
I'm not doing it for you, Tucker, or anyone else. I'm divorcing Tucker, and that's final. It'll be a lot easier thanks to all the photo and video evidence you provided me with. Plus, with you and the baby for Tucker to worry about, the timing is perfect all around. How do you expect me to pass up an opportunity this incredible to get rid of him?
Aren't you at all concerned about what's going to happen to the baby if Tucker won't take me back? I can't go to my parents for help. I'd have to tell them that the father was a married man. So my only option is to raise it alone, which I can't do.
This is what I don't get. Why do I have to stay married to a man who has cheated on me multiple times for the sake of his love child? It doesn't make a bit of sense. And by the way, I'm pretty sure your parents are also aware of your situation.
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, the lawyer said he won't be serving you until today. So in any case, they'll know by probably around mid-afternoon.
What? You're serving me at my parents' house?
Yeah, that's the only address of yours that I knew. And besides, you quit your job when you got pregnant, so you don't have any money. So I figured you'd have to tell your parents I was suing you eventually, since you'd need them to pay the damages for you.
But Tucker said he was going to pay.
Tucker doesn't have any money, remember?
But he promised me. He promised me that he'd help me out with whatever I needed.
Yeah, and he promised you he was going to marry you too, but how did that turn out for you? In any case, you can take that up with him yourself. Tucker's been blowing up my phone with messages begging me not to leave him. I still have to meet with my lawyer about the divorce. And I have about 1 billion other things I need to do, so I don't have time to be messing around with you.
This is terrible. I can't take care of a baby. And once my parents find out, they're going to disown me for sure. Please, Connie, you've got to help me. Tucker won't listen to me, but maybe he'll listen to you.
I am astonished at you, Mariana. You came to me bragging that you had stolen my husband away from me, and now you're crawling to me for help? Honestly, have you no shame at all? I have no interest in helping either you or Tucker with anything. Tucker is in your hands now. You'll have to find some way to slap some sense into him yourself.
So sorry for everything I did to you, Connie. I apologize. So how about this? Why don't you just pretend like you're going to stay with Tucker? Just long enough for him to sign the birth certificate?
I said no, and I meant it. This is your mess. You can clean it up like any good adult. no time.
Oh my God, Jesse. I just heard the news from Mom. She just came to me all giddy like, I just met Jesse's fiance. He's a super great guy. Blah, blah, blah. Are you actually getting married?
Yep, I sure am.
You are? What's his name? What kind of guy is he? Send me a picture.
His name is Harvey. I met him at work. And, about the picture, I'd rather hold off for now if that's all right with you. If I were in his position, I'd rather not have someone sending my picture around without my permission.
Aw, come on. What's the matter with sending me one stupid picture? Don't be stingy. I want to know what he looks like. And, uh-oh, I think I get it. You don't want to send me his picture because you don't want anyone to see how ugly he is. Am I right?
No, you couldn't be farther from the truth, Anna. He's a handsome guy. If I were being honest, I'd have to say he's even way out of my league, even.
Oh, yeah? Then there shouldn't be any problem with you sending me a picture of the guy. It's only natural for me to assume he's ugly if you don't want to show me his picture.
You'll just have to wait until the wedding for the big reveal then.
What? Are you telling me that you're not even going to let me meet him until the day of the wedding?
I'm sorry, Anna, but it was difficult enough for him to get enough time off work to come and meet our parents.
He's got weekends off, though, doesn't he? Bring him over on a Saturday or something.
He's really, really busy at work. They call him in on weekends all the time. So as much as I'd like to, I can't make any promises on bringing him down again just to meet you.
That's no fair. I want to meet your fiancé, too.
Sorry, Anna. It's just not going to happen.
All right, fine. Whatever. So when's the wedding going to be? How long am I going to have to wait to meet the guy?
Right now, we're planning on a date about 6 months from now.
So you haven't decided on a specific date yet?
Nope, not yet.
That means you haven't picked out a venue or anything either, right?
No, actually. We're looking at a few places, though, but we haven't decided on any specifics.
Then let me help you out.
Huh? You mean you want to help me plan our wedding?
I'm an eligible bachelorette myself, Jesse. I could meet Mr. Perfect and get married myself any day now. It would be nice for me to have some experience in all the steps of planning a wedding. You know what I mean? And who knows, I might get some really good ideas from you that I can use for my own big day.
I don't know, Anna. We have pretty different tastes. I doubt that there's going to be anything that you would like.
You don't know that for sure. And besides, you have a terrible fashion sense. Don't even get me started on cosmetics too. You don't know mascara from eyeliner. I mean, sure, you've been taking some pointers from me lately, so I guess you've improved a little. But if it weren't for the dedicated instruction you've been getting from your little sister, you would have gone down the aisle looking like a sack of potatoes.
I don't know.
I do know, though. You would be lost without me. I mean, it's bad enough that you aren't cute at all. If you pick some weirdo dress that accentuates your bad features, you're going to be humiliated. You don't want to look bad on the most important day of your life, do you?
The thing is, Harvey and I were planning on going dress shopping together, though.
I may not have ever met this Harvey guy, but one thing I do know for sure is that you should never take a man's advice on women's fashion. It's a recipe for disaster. They're totally clueless. Trust me, Jesse, a blind beggar has more fashion sense than the two of you put together. Anything you two come up with is going to be hideous.
I think we'll be fine, Anna. Thanks for your concern, though.
Yeah, I am super duper concerned. This is you we're talking about. I'm your little sister. I know you better than anyone else in the world. I don't want to see you ruin your own wedding with terrible fashion decisions, Jesse.
Look, Anna, again, I appreciate your concern, but we're going to be fine. This is our wedding, and we want to plan it the way we want it to be, just the two of us. So trust me when I say that you don't need to worry about us. I'll tell you what, how about this? If there's ever a point where I feel I need your expert opinion, I'll let you know, okay?
I don't know, Jesse. If that's what you say, all right. But don't forget that there's no one out there who understands your bad taste as much as I do, okay? If there's ever anything, no matter how small, that you need help with, let me know. Hey, Jesse, are you not home yet? I'm waiting out in front of your apartment building. I got some fresh coffee and donuts. Hurry up and let me in before they get cold and stale.
I'm sorry, Anna, but I'm not going to be home until really late tonight.
What? But why? You're not going out with Harvey today, are you?
No, I'm visiting a friend of mine in a neighboring city.
Oh, that sucks. What am I going to do with all these donuts now? I guess I'll just have to throw them away.
Why would you throw them away? Can't you just eat them?
Are you kidding? I can't eat these. Unlike you, I have a slender, feminine physique to keep up with. I only bought these for you. I was never going to touch them. Man, I spent $30 on all that stuff, and now it's all going to waste.
$30? How many donuts did you buy?
A dozen. I mean, you would be able to gobble 12 little donuts up by yourself in no time, right? I know. Tell me what your mailbox number is. I'll leave them there, and you can have them for breakfast or something.
Would you mind taking them home with you? Our mailboxes aren't that big, and I'm pretty sure the management wouldn't appreciate people leaving food in them. It might cause rats or bugs. I wouldn't want that. And for the record, I'm currently on a bit of a diet. My wedding's only 3 months away and all. So I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to eat them anyway. Plus, both of us have agreed to not eat out for a while to save some money.
Are you out of your mind? The only thing you had going for you was your curves.
Let me ask you this way, Anna. If you were me, would you want to look like this on your wedding day?
Good God, no, I'd rather die. But that's me, not you. I've always been careful not to get fat.
And I've decided that my wedding is the perfect opportunity to get into shape myself. So I appreciate you bringing a gift over, but I'm afraid I won't be eating any donuts anytime soon. So don't bring me any more sweet stuff like that, okay?
Can I talk to you about something, Jessie? You've changed since you've gotten engaged. Before, you would never turn down an opportunity to chow down on some donuts with me. We used to go out together all the time, too. But these last few months, I've been lucky if I get to see you once a week. I didn't think you were the type of girl who would change this much just because you got a man in your life.
It has nothing to do with me dating Harvey. Think about it. You didn't even realize I had a boyfriend until I told Mom and Dad I was getting married, right?
Well, I've been pretty busy pursuing my career as an Instagram model since last year, so I guess I didn't notice. But when I think about it, maybe this has been going on for longer than I thought. Actually, yeah, remember last year when I was crying my eyes out asking for money to buy a concert ticket? You didn't give me any money, did you?
That's because you were trying to buy a front row ticket for $1,000 from a scalper. In any case, I decided to go on a diet. I realized that I hadn't been taking good enough care of myself and want to fix a few things before my wedding.
Look, Jessie, you're my big sister, so I feel like I'm the only person who has the guts to say this to you straight up. Can I be brutally honest with you?
About what?
About your whole diet thing. Losing weight isn't going to change the fact that you're ugly. I mean, do you really think that's the extent of your problems? Dropping 5, 10, even 15 pounds isn't going to suddenly transform your entire appearance. I get it though. Your wedding is coming up soon and you're really excited. But I really think you need to face reality here.
Even if that were the case, I still want to lose a bit of weight.
Didn't you hear me? Your curves are your only appealing feature. If you lose weight, you'll lose the only thing about you that would make a man attracted to you.
Anna, if you're done, I think it's my turn to say my piece. I think you're being more than just a little bit disrespectful to me. And I'm not talking about just this conversation. You've been this way for as long as I can remember. If you want to think that I'm ugly, then that's fine. But do you really need to tell me?
Of course I do. I'm telling you this for your own good.
Okay, let me put it to you a different way. I don't like it when you call me ugly, so stop doing it. I'm already perfectly aware of my appearance without your constant reminders.
That settles it. You really have changed. Whoever this Garvey guy is, he's completely brainwashed you.
Brainwashed me? Well, I suppose you could put it that way.
What? You mean he has brainwashed you? Is he in a cult or something? Is he trying to drag you into it?
No. I'm trying to say that he's washed away all the self-doubt and misery that I once had and replaced it with confidence and happiness.
Oh, well, isn't that lovely? Okay, once again, I gotta be brutally honest with you. Do not say that at your wedding. I think I would die of secondhand cringe. Hey there, Jessie. I need to apologize for something.
You do? What is it, Anna?
The thing is, I'm gonna have to cancel on you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? But my wedding is tomorrow. You're not coming to my wedding after all?
That's right. I decided that I don't want any part in the wedding of two ugly losers. Not only would it be a total waste of time and money, But if any of my cool Instagram friends found out I was there, I would never live it down.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I'll call the venue and tell them they don't need to set up a seat for you.
That's it? That's your reaction? Aren't you, surprised? Or are you just putting on a strong face to hide the fact that you're heartbroken?
No, that's not it. I don't know, I kind of saw this coming somehow. Like, I knew deep down that you really hated me. And now my suspicions are confirmed.
It took you this long to catch on? My God. It was like, no matter what I did or said to you, you always thought of me as your darling little sister. And now that you're over 30 and finally getting married to someone as ugly as you are, you finally realize it.
Like I said, you always talked to me like you thought you were better than me. Like calling me ugly and fat at every opportunity. But in spite of all that, you are my only sister. And when you weren't belittling me because of my looks, I actually did enjoy all the time we spent together. So, yes, I did always think of you as my darling little sister.
Aw, that's so sweet of you, Jessie. I'm touched, really. But the truth is, I never saw you as anything but a fat, ugly loser. So yeah, my original plan was actually to go to your wedding and totally steal the show from you. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to do, since I'm like a million times prettier than you. But if I wore a beautiful flowing white dress to go along with it, everyone's eyes would be on me instead of on you.
Wow, if you did something like that, you would probably get a lot of attention. You've got that right. But not the kind of attention you think you'd get.
Nah, I'm fully aware that everyone would think I was a psycho if I did that, so I was debating whether to do it or not for a long time. It was a tough decision. On one hand, ruining your wedding for you would be super hilarious. But on the other hand, I would rather not ruin everyone's impression of me as a sweet, innocent, pretty little thing. But that was until I saw him. I saw your husband, Jessie.
What? When?
You moved out of your apartment last month to go and live with your husband, right? Yes, I know that you got legally married already. You're not hiding anything from me. When I heard you were moving, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to sneak a peek at your husband without you noticing. So I hid out in a nearby cafe until I saw a moving truck going by, and I followed it right to your house.
Huh. That's some pretty impressive detective work, Anna.
Mom was going on and on about what a super great guy he was, and you just completely refused to even send me a freaking picture of the guy. So I was thinking, wow, what kind of uber-eligible Adonis must this guy be? But he's just a chubby, middle-aged guy with a scruffy beard. You two were made for each other.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I'm glad you think that Harvey and I make a great couple.
That wasn't a compliment, you moron. So yeah, I took one look at him and knew that I didn't want to be in the same room as him. I'll bet he only showers like once a week. So with a gross groom and a bulbous bride, I knew that there was no way I was going to go to that wedding. I mean, you couldn't pay me enough to be seen in public around you two.
I'm glad you're finally being honest with me, Anna. As much as you're my sister, however, I'm afraid I can't sit by and allow you to disparage my husband. It's one thing for you to mock me, but Harvey doesn't deserve to be spoken about that way. If you don't want to come to my wedding, that's fine with me. But I don't plan on speaking to you again after this.
So we're in agreement then. I don't want to associate with a couple of homeless shelter rejects like you two either. Man, why did I have to be born into the same family as you? I deserve to have a beautiful family. Well, whatever. I'm gonna marry Nate Green anyway.
Nate Green? You mean the lead singer of that band you like?
Yeah, they were performing at the concert that you were too cheap to buy me a ticket for. Once I marry Nate Green, then I'll have a beautiful family that I was destined for.
Uh-huh. Well, good luck with that. I hope you enjoy your life, Anna.
With you out of my life, I'm gonna enjoy it way more now. Have fun with your ugly husband. Oh, and be sure to save up a lot of money to get your ugly kid's plastic surgery. Jessie! Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what?
That your husband Harvey is Nate Green's older brother?
You never asked.
I just checked his Instagram account, and he put up a picture of your wedding. He blurred out your face, but I could tell that it was you in the picture with him. I can't believe you would keep this a secret from me. You knew I was a massive fan of Nate's. I've been going to all of their concerts that I can this entire year.
You really don't understand why I would hide Harvey's identity from you?
No, now explain yourself.
Isn't it obvious? If you found out that Harvey was Nate's older brother, you would be constantly bugging me to let you meet him.
Duh. This is the Nate Green we're talking about. He's only the single hottest guy in the music industry right now. His band is about to go on a world tour, too. This is so unfair. I've only ever seen Nate from way up in the cheap seats, but you got to take a picture with him.
And whose fault is it that you didn't come to my wedding, Anna?
If I knew Nate was coming, I would have dropped everything to come. I'd crawl a mile through broken glass, rusty nails, and use syringes in order to meet Nate up close at your wedding.
It's precisely that psycho attitude of yours that made me debate whether or not I should invite you to my wedding in the first place. You're right, I do know how big of a fan you are of Nate's. And so I was understandably concerned about what sort of nonsense you'd pull when you realized he was in the room. So I called Nate personally to tell him about you and see what he thought. And you know what he said? He said that he's more than used to crazy fans and that he didn't want me to leave my sister out of the wedding for his sake.
You called Nate? As in, you have his number?
Well, yeah, he's my brother-in-law after all. I don't think it's strange for family members to have each other's phone numbers.
Then, if you and Nate are family members and I'm your sister, that means me and Nate are family too. You have to introduce me to him.
Sorry, no can do. He's already left. They're going on a world tour soon, remember?
What? Then when am I going to get to meet him?
Probably never.
Is he going to visit for Christmas or something? I'll be able to meet him then, right?
I wouldn't count on it. He's a world-famous musician.
Whatever. The next time he comes to visit, you had better let me know.
Do you have the memory of a goldfish? Just yesterday you told me that you never wanted to associate with an ugly loser like me ever again.
That was yesterday, though. I'm sorry for what I said. There. Now we've made up, and you can introduce me to your hot rock star brother-in-law.
Did you really think it would be that easy to get me to forgive you?
What do you want me to do? Get down on my hands and knees and beg for forgiveness?
You've been saying all sorts of cruel things to me for as long as I can remember. But I always held out hope that deep down you were just being honest with me because you were family.
That's exactly right. Sure, I may not have the best way with words, but I was just trying to help you when I called you ugly and fat. I wanted to encourage you to be healthier.
That's a lie. You know it and I know it. The plain and simple truth is that you were just making fun of me. You even said so yourself yesterday.
I was just angry, that's all. I didn't mean it.
You have an anonymous Instagram account, don't you, Anna?
Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's too late for you to hide it, Anna. I already know. You posted a picture of us together a few years ago that went viral. You know, one of those which would you rather have pictures. I saw that, Anna.
Oh.
You tried to hide it by blurring out our faces, but I could still tell that it was me and you. It was a picture that you took of us just a few days before you posted it.
Okay, there's a very good explanation for that. It's called viral marketing. You know, those kind of pictures get tons of views, likes, shares, and comments. I thought I could use it to propel my modeling career. And I blurred out your face, so what's the problem?
The problem is that you continued to post that exact same kind of picture. Not only that, you were always posting about your fat, ugly older sister. Like a few months ago after you found out I was getting married, you posted, quote, "My fat, ugly sister just told me she's engaged, but she won't let me meet him. She's totally lying to impress me." Then when you found out I was telling the truth, you posted another banger. "My fat, ugly sister is married to an equally fat, equally ugly man. God, I feel so bad for their future children."
I'm sorry, okay? I was just jealous that you got married before me. I'm almost 32, you know. I want to meet a great guy and settle down, but all the men around my age are a bunch of indecisive losers.
I bet that's part of it, but that doesn't erase the fact that you've been just as cruel to me since even before I got engaged. You've hurt me so much, Anna.
I'm so sorry, Jessie. I realize now that I was totally out of line and totally wrong about you. I mean, you got married to the older brother of a world-famous musician. You're the luckiest girl in the world. Either that or you got piles of karma built up from being a good person all the time. So please, Jessie, I'm begging you, forgive me.
No.
Come on. Why won't you forgive me? I told you I'm sorry. And that's not all talk. I feel genuinely bad about what I've done to you.
I thought I made myself clear yesterday. I can deal with you talking trash about me anonymously on the internet. I can even forgive you for trying to ruin the diet I was working so hard on. But when you dragged my husband Harvey into it,
Hello there, Darlene. Just checking in to make sure you took your dose of the supplement I gave you today. Remember, you have to take it every day or else it won't have any effect at all. So you should never, ever allow yourself to exceed 24 hours between doses, under any circumstances.
yes, Mom, I took my dose today, just like I have every single day for the last 3 months. Thanks for checking in with me. Again.
That's excellent to hear. So tell me, how are you feeling? Any signs of pregnancy? Morning sickness? Weight gain?
Sorry, Mom, but nothing to report today. Just like every other day for the last 3 months. But once again, thank you so much for checking on me like this.
I see. Have you considered taking a pregnancy test anyway, just to be sure? It might be that you just don't realize the symptoms that you're experiencing.
No, I am 100% sure that I am not pregnant.
This is so utterly bizarre. I read online that the supplement you're taking is a highly effective fertility enhancer. I looked around town for that supplement for weeks, but not one single drugstore in a 20-mile radius had it in stock, so I had to buy it online.
I'm really grateful that you would go to such lengths to help me, Mom, and I'm sorry you went to all that trouble for nothing.
If you've been taking it for this long to no effect, then I guess there's only one conclusion. Your reproductive organs must be defective. It's like putting new batteries in a flashlight that has no light bulb inside of it. Dear me, what am I to do? At this rate, I feel like I may just have to give up entirely on ever having grandchildren. I'm trying to remember, how old are you, Darlene?
I just turned 28 this year.
My goodness gracious, sakes alive, are you really that old already? I suppose it has been 3 years now since you and my son got married. The older a woman gets, the more difficult it is to get pregnant. Maybe it's time for me to throw in the towel.
I don't know. I'd say it's far too soon to give up hope entirely. Women are having kids later and later these days. I know a lot of women who gave birth in their late 30s even. What I hear from other women around my age is that most women will get pregnant within about 5 years of trying. So Drew and I definitely still have a chance of giving you the grandchild you've always wanted.
And how long are you going to keep me waiting, Darlene?
Well, as much as I'd like to be able to tell you, I just don't know. I know this isn't what you want to hear, but all I can say is it'll happen when it happens.
I know that medical knowledge has made great advancements since my day, but we still need to face reality. Women don't become more fertile as they age, Darlene. It's all downhill from here. And let's not forget that older women carry a higher risk of giving birth to children with abnormalities, defects, diseases, and all that. Is that what you want, Darlene? A diseased, deformed, defective child? It's best for women to give birth while they're young. Nothing good comes of an old woman having a child.
But that's just an increased risk, though. Every pregnancy carried at least some risk in these sorts of things. I feel like everyone tacitly accepts those risks when they set out to have a child.
I accept no such risks. Remember, this is my grandchild we're talking about. I'll accept nothing less than a strong, healthy, normal baby. How could I be affectionate toward a defective child? Any love I felt for it would be outweighed by pity.
Mom, please, don't talk like that.
You're right. There's no point in worrying about such things. After all, you seem to be completely incapable of giving birth to any child at all, much less a healthy one. So why did I have to be cursed with such a useless daughter-in-law?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mom.
You should have come out and told me you were as barren as the Sahara Desert before you got married. Now I'm stuck with defective goods and an expired warranty. And poor Drew, he must be absolutely heartbroken.
I had a fertility screening done and they didn't find anything out of the ordinary with me. I never would have thought that we would be trying unsuccessfully for this long.
I don't need any of your excuses, Darlene. All I need for you to do is what you should have done a long time ago. I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
It sounds like you're trying to tell me to divorce Drew.
It's not just me you should be worrying about. Drew wants to have a child while he's still young as well. You need to stop wasting that boy's precious time. I will not sit idly by while you waste away the best years of his life, and mine as well.
I don't know what to say, Mom. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Why didn't you ever introduce me to your younger sister before?
You mean Marlene? I didn't know the two of you were acquainted.
I just met her a little while ago. She is such a lovely young woman, and I'm surprised that you two came from the same bloodline.
Wait, so you have met? That's odd. I haven't heard anything from Marlene for several years now. No calls, no texts, nothing at all.
Is that so? And why is that? Did the two of you have a falling out?
Well, I guess you could say that, and we've never had that great of a relationship. Our past is complicated, to say the least.
And it's entirely your fault, I presume.
What makes you say that?
It's obvious, Darlene. There's no way a girl so sweet and kind as Marlene could ever cause any trouble. I doubt there's anyone in the world who has a single negative thing to say about her other than you. She's a real charmer, that Marlene.
I'm confused. Are you sure this is my sister that you're talking about?
I'm positive.
All right. And where did you happen to meet her?
By sheer coincidence, we both were in the waiting room of my favorite massage parlor at the same time. She tells me that she's a regular patron there herself. I didn't realize she was your sister at first, though. But when the receptionist called her, she called her Marlene. It all came back to me. Plus, the two of you look an awful lot alike.
Wow, you remembered my sister's name?
I've always been good at remembering people's names, and it was particularly easy in your case. Darlene and Marlene? They're so similar. I don't know how your mother could remember which one was which.
Huh. Well, okay then. So what did you and my sister talk about?
All sorts of things. We had such a good time talking to each other that once we were both done with our massages, we went out to a cafe for a cup of tea. We were chatting there for about 2 hours.
You were talking for that long?
And I must say, she's a far more interesting conversation partner than you. I haven't had that much fun talking to a person in ages. I think I may just go and introduce her to Drew as well.
I would really prefer that you didn't.
Really? And why would that be? After all, since Marlene is your sister, that makes her Drew's sister-in-law, right? What's wrong with a man getting to know his own wife's family?
I'm sure that you and Marlene had an absolutely wonderful time together. She's very, very good at getting people to like her. But it's all a front. The truth is that she's nothing but trouble. She's always been that way ever since she was a little kid. I would strongly recommend that you don't interact with her anymore. There is a very good reason we haven't been in contact for all these years, and I'd like to keep it this way.
It's so bizarre to me that you'd say that. She didn't seem that way to me at all.
That's exactly my point. She's very good at disguising her true nature.
I see. That's exactly what I thought you would say.
Huh? What do you mean?
Marlene told me all about you, Darlene. She told me that you would tell me all sorts of lies in order to make yourself seem better, And she was right. You just made up all that nonsense in order to give me a negative impression of her. You're such a bitter, mean-spirited girl, Darlene.
I'm not lying, though. That's the truth. You can even ask my parents about her if you want. They'll tell you that everything I'm saying is correct. They had to deal with even more of her nonsense than I did.
Ha! You're not going to fool me so easily. Marlene told me that your parents were the same as you. They always favored you over her just because you were their first child. How pitiful the three of you are. You're so jealous of how well-liked Marlene is by everyone around her that you tell cruel lies to try and hurt her image.
That's not true. You have to believe me. She's the one who's lying.
Let's assume for a moment that you are telling the truth. Not that I believe it for a second, mind you. But even if she was a bit of a problem child, what difference does that make? She's an adult now. And the adult Marlene that I met the other day is nothing like what you want me to believe she is.
Do you really think so? Frankly, I find it hard to believe. But who knows? Maybe she did do some introspection in the last several years since we've spoken.
I'm glad you admit that. Now stop spreading those ugly lies about her. That's defamation, you know. Good morning, Darlene. I've got tremendous news.
What is it?
Your sister Marlene is pregnant.
Wow, really?
But wait, it gets better.
Oh? How so?
Drew is the father.
Wait, Drew? As in, my Drew? My husband Drew is the father of Marlene's baby?
That's right. Do you know any other Drews in the area?
Drew is my husband. Why is my sister pregnant with my husband's child?
Because the two of them have been dating for the last several months. They hit it off right away. They were talking about getting married just a few weeks after meeting. And after seeing how quickly Marlene got pregnant, I'd say they're compatible in more ways than one.
What is the meaning of this? Since when have the two of them been dating, and how do you know about all of this?
Isn't it obvious? I'm the one who set them up on their first date. I just knew they'd get along swimmingly.
How could you do something like this to me?
Oh, shut up, Darlene. Don't pretend like you're the innocent victim here. This is your fault for failing to give me a grandchild. You can't blame me for finding a more suitable woman for my son. And my, oh my, was she ever suitable. You were trying to have a baby for what seemed like forever, but she got pregnant right away.
I don't believe this. You genuinely feel like you've done nothing wrong?
Not a thing. Like I said, you will have no one to blame for yourself. Do you have any idea how much I'd suffer these 3 long years waiting for a grandchild that never came? Those are 3 years that Drew and I will never get back, you filthy little thief. It's such a shame. If only Drew had met Marlene before you.
Fine then. Extend my best wishes to the happy couple. I'm sure there's nothing left for me to do but leave as soon as possible.
Within the day if possible. Pack your things up immediately and, if you wouldn't mind, be a dear and tidy up the house before you go. I want it to be neat and tidy for when your darling little sister moves in.
Tell the two of them they'll be hearing from my lawyer in short order.
A lawyer? What for?
What else? I'm suing them.
Suing them? You can't sue them for anything. It's your fault for being as infertile as a rock.
It doesn't matter why they had an affair. All that matters is that they did. I am well within my legal rights to sue for alienation of affection and to recover the costs that I'll incur from having to move on a moment's notice.
Whatever. Do what you will. Drew makes good money. They'll have no trouble paying whatever pittance your lawyer manages to extract from him. Really, though, demanding money as you get shown the door? What a bitter, lowly woman you are. I knew I was right to introduce Marlene to Drew. Both of us will be much happier when you're gone.
Good luck living with my sister, then. Just know that whatever comes next, you deserve every single bit of it.
Indeed I will. I have always deserved to be the mother-in-law to a decent, charming, lovely girl who isn't a dried-up, useless waste of the female form.
You're going to be in for a rude awakening one of these days, and when that happens, don't come crying to me for help.
Trust me, you don't need to worry about that at all. I have no interest in ever speaking to you for the rest of my life. Now, if I may make one final request, don't be a sore loser. You lost fair and square to a superior woman. Don't take out your frustrations on Marlene. If you even think about doing something to harm my darling Marlene, I will destroy you. Do I make myself clear?
Wow, I don't remember you ever getting this protective of me. You must like Marlene an awful lot, huh?
And why wouldn't I? She's the woman who's carrying my dear little grandchild in her belly.
I'm only messaging you right now for one specific reason. After this is done, I will immediately go back to forgetting you exist. Talk to Marlene and tell her to stop sending me her ultrasound pictures in the mail. That is all.
What's the problem, Darlene? All Marlene wants is to share the joy and the precious gift of life with her beloved older sister.
Exactly how do you expect me to find joy in any of this? My husband cheated on me with my own little sister and got her pregnant. I feel an awful lot of things every time I get one of those things in the mail, but joy isn't one of them.
Maybe she just wants to reassure you that your ex-husband's baby is fine and well.
Oh yeah, thanks so much. That's very reassuring. I see all of you are just as comically evil as ever.
What's comically evil is you deceiving my son into thinking you are worthy of being considered a woman. It's your own fault that you got kicked to the curb, Darlene. Don't you dare forget that you wasted 3 whole years of our lives.
You want to know what wasting 3 years feels like? It feels like waking up one day and finding out that your husband is a lying, cheating scumbag. Your mother-in-law is a sociopathic monster, and your little sister is just as much of a backstabbing slut as she's always been. That's what 3 wasted years feels like.
There you go again, always having to feel like you're the victim. You never change.
You might be right, but let me remind you, Marlene doesn't change either. I recommend you don't let your guard down around her. You're really going to regret it.
What do you mean?
I mean just what I said. I've already told you what a nuisance my sister always was. And that's not all in the past, like you seem to think it is. Think about it. She stole her sister's husband, got pregnant with his baby, and is sending a constant stream of ultrasound pictures to me in the mail. Doesn't that seem a little, I don't know, diabolical to you?
Not in the slightest. She's done all for me that I ever wanted. She's giving me a grandchild. I'm not concerned about any of the minor details.
I think you'd be a bit more concerned if you knew as much about her history as I do. Like, for example, her history with men.
That does it. I'm not participating in this conversation any longer. I won't sit here and listen to you defame my beautiful daughter-in-law like this. I'm not even mad. I'm mostly just incredibly sad for you. You've been absolutely destroyed by your jealousy toward your sister.
If that's what you want to think, be my guest. You'll come to see the truth sooner or later.
Darlene, do you have a moment? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind telling me a bit more about Marlene. I believe you mentioned she had a bit of history with men.
I thought you didn't believe me.
I didn't, at least not back then. But there have been some developments since we last spoke.
Oh yeah? What sort of developments?
It seems that Marlene's been having an affair.
Yeah, I know. I was on the receiving end of that, remember?
No, I'm not referring to her relationship with Drew.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, she was with another man besides Drew. We just got a letter in the mail from a lawyer representing that man's wife. She's suing us.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. This wouldn't be the first time she's done this.
But it seems that this affair happened before she and Drew started dating. She's his wife now, so he thought he had no choice but to take responsibility and pay a settlement to avoid Marlene having to go to court. We thought that would be the end of it, but then we got another letter in the mail.
And let me guess, it was from a lawyer representing the wife of another man she's had an affair with.
Yes, it was almost the exact same situation as the previous one, with one important difference. This wasn't a past relationship of hers. This affair was much more recent.
As in, current?
I'm afraid so. But Drew emptied his savings to pay the settlement for the first lawsuit. So this time around, I had to dip into my retirement account to pay her off. We've been completely cleared out. If this happens one more time, I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. I tried to tell you she was nothing but trouble. And her particular brand of trouble involves men. Typically married men.
But I don't understand. Why is she like this?
I don't know. I guess she just gets a thrill from taking something that belongs to someone else. The fact that she can get these men, who are supposed to be loyal to another woman, to sleep with her makes her feel wanted and appreciated. And I hate to tell you this, but your worst fears are going to come true. She's had far more affairs than just those 2.
Is that just a hunch, or do you know this for a fact? You sure seem like you're confident.
I have a pretty good idea of how many men she's messed around with up until now.
You do? But how? I thought you said you weren't speaking for years.
I had her checked out. It kept bothering me how you seemed so sure that she had changed her ways when the Marlene I knew could never give up her old habits. I was certain that she was the exact same sort of woman she's always been. I wouldn't be satisfied until I knew for sure which of us was right, so I hired a private detective and found my answer.
A private detective? They don't come cheap.
And it was worth every penny. I cannot stress enough to you how angry I was when Drew cheated on me. Long story short, I found out that Marlene is currently having an affair with no fewer than 8 men.
8? She's seeing 8 men right now?
Out of those 8, 6 are married, and I took the liberty of contacting their wives. I thought they might like to know what their husbands have been up to.
Wait, you're the one who told them? Then you're the reason that we've now had to pay for settlements with 2 women so far?
All I did was tell them the truth that they deserved to know. Once I found out, did you expect me to just stay quiet and let those poor women continue to be abused by unfaithful men? No, I'm not about to let that happen. Justice must be served.
But you said 6 of our partners were married. That means there are still 4 more lawsuits coming our way. This is terrible. Drew's savings were completely wiped out, and my retirement account won't last much longer at this rate.
Frankly, I'm surprised Drew had enough to cover the first one after he had to pay for my lawsuit against him. I'm not privy to the plans of the remaining 4 women, but I'd say you should be capable of paying off at least 1 or 2, right?
But that money was supposed to support me in my retirement. You know, Social Security isn't enough to live on. If I lose all my savings, how am I supposed to get by?
You'll just have to come together as a family and support each other through this difficult time. Remember, you've got your grandchild to take care of now.
Hold on. If she was really sleeping with 8 men, doesn't that mean there's a chance that the baby isn't Drew's?
Why did it take you this long to realize that? If I were in your position, that's the first thing I would have thought about.
But if the baby really isn't Drew's, then we just spent tens of thousands of dollars paying off the wives of her boyfriends for nothing.
Yep. But hey, what if you decided not to worry about minor details like whose baby it really is and just raise it like your own anyway? After all, Marlene is a charming, sweet, lovely, decent woman who's perfect for Drew, isn't she?
I had no idea that this is what she was really like. I have no interest in raising the child of some loose woman if that child isn't even mine.
You can try and divorce her if you want, but trust me, she is not going to go away quietly without a fight. You'd better be prepared for a long, drawn-out, and costly legal battle with her.
You mean to tell me she'll fight getting a divorce even though she's cheating on Drew with 8 other men? What kind of monster is she?
She's exactly the kind of monster I tried to tell you that she was. Why do you think no one in our family wanted anything to do with her for all those years?
You never told me about this, though.
I tried my best, but you just wouldn't listen. You just assumed I was jealous of her and was lying to ruin her reputation.
No, why is this happening to me? If I had known this was going to happen, I never would have introduced her to Drew. I'd rather deal with never having a grandchild than lose all of my money.
And now you have to deal with both. Good luck with that. As expected, the lawsuits kept on coming, and my former mother-in-law was forced to empty out her entire retirement account to pay them all off. She tried to get my sister to do a paternity test on the child after the birth, but Marlene adamantly refused. Then, when Drew threatened to divorce her, she called his bluff and countered with a threat to sue for a massive amount in child support. Understandably, that attitude of hers infuriated Drew. I know, I've been there before myself. But in the argument that ensued, Drew did something that I managed to avoid doing: lose his temper. I'll spare you the details, but long story short, Marlene had to go to the hospital and get a few stitches. That was exactly what she wanted to happen. Now, not only will Drew never get the chance to prove that Marlene's baby isn't his, he's also now looking at facing both civil and criminal punishment for a fight Marlene started. But enough about those losers. While they were wallowing in self-inflicted misery, I met a wonderful man and got married. And guess what? I'm pregnant. I've never been happier and have a completely positive outlook on the future for the first time in forever.